In the summer of '97, in celebration of my father's 50th birthday, my dad, my sister, and I made a pilgrimage to Dyersville, Iowa, where our beloved movie, Field of Dreams, was filmed. The field, bleachers, and house were there, and still are, exactly like they look in the film. My dad batted on the field, we walked in the corn, and he had a catch with my sister and me. My dad beautifully threw the ball to my sister. She then used her glove, not to catch it, but more as a shield. Then I went and picked up the ball, wherever she deflected it, and threw it back to my dad with a complete lack of any discernible sports skills. It was perfect. Field of Dreams came out when I was 12, and I was halfway through my 20s before I realized it was not loved by everybody in the world. My dad and Roger Ebert loved it, and in my movie world, that meant everybody. When I was 25, I took a class on film, and the instructor did not care for Field of Dreams. I was in shock. I respected this teacher and his movie choices. He got me to watch Some Like It Hot, Double Indemnity, but Field of Dreams? It seemed to me if you loved movies, you had to love that movie. As I shared my outrage about this with others, I found some of them didn't like Field of Dreams either. To console myself after these life-altering moments, I would go home and read Ebert's review, where he reminded me, Field of Dreams will not appeal to Grinches and Grouches and realists. Ebert gave me the best gift here, names to call people who don't like Field of Dreams. Because every good bar argument should end in, oh yeah, well I guess that makes you a realist. Recently I finished Roger Ebert's memoir. Reading his book meant feeling constant appreciation and inspiration. These feelings do not come from reading how Ebert courageously handled his illness. That is of course a part of his book, but not its focus. The appreciative, inspiring feelings come from experiencing his writings. Ebert writes with a beautiful combination of simplicity, pathos, and depthness. Whatever he writes passionately about, you crave instantly, whether it's a great movie, sex, or a steak and shake burger. Ebert ends his book with these beautiful words. Kindness covers all of my political beliefs. No need to spell them out. I believe that if, at the end, according to our abilities, we have done something to make others a little happier, and something to make ourselves a little happier, that is about the best we can do. To make others less happy is a crime. To make ourselves unhappy is where all crime starts. We must try to contribute joy to the world. That is true no matter what our problems, our health, our circumstances. We must try. I didn't always know this, and I'm happy I lived long enough to find it out. As I finished the book, I felt the sadness that it was over, but I savored and celebrated these last words he wrote, the best way I knew how, by eating a steak and shake burger and watching Kevin Costner mow down his crop and attempt to kidnap James Earl Jones.
Before Deena reads her last one, what was interesting is Deena and I both simultaneously wrote our love song obituaries to Roger Ebert in the same time, and so much of the thematic in both of our essays was the same, and we never really called each other and said, hey, what are you going to write now that you're like depressed that Roger Ebert?
Yeah, I remember actually sending you something to watch. You were like, I can't watch anything about Ebert yet. I'm going to have to wait. There's a very funny Letterman thing where Letterman goes around and him and Siskel and Ebert go to people's houses in like some Connecticut neighborhood, and they're like, can we fix your door for you? Or is there anything we can do? And it's still, oh God bless YouTube. It's like on there in its entirety. And Ebert plays the William Tell Overture. He could play it on any surface. So he taps it out on some lady's door. Yeah. And then Siskel could do all the helping programs. He can name them all by memorization. So in case you were wondering, those are little facts about Siskel and Ebert.
I was reading a Roger Ebert biography too, and he was sick, and I kind of tried to kid myself saying that the longer I prolonged finishing it, the longer his life would extend. And I was literally on my couch reading it when I got the text from my father, and I literally just flung the book, and then later I picked it up and I put the bookmark, and I never finished it. I literally stopped where I stopped the day I found out about his death.
Spoiler alert, that's the last paragraph.
It's on the back. It's on the back of the jacket.
Oh, okay, phew.
It's on the back of the jacket.
What is your 90s movie? We talked Goodfellas. I got Goodfellas out there. Does anyone have a 90s movie that was just like, that was it? Like Field of Dreams movie it was not even 90s. It was like, I think it was 89 maybe or whatever, but it was a family movie. Oh, yeah.
I remember really enjoying Sneakers.
Oh, that's good.
Truth or Dare, Madonna.
91.
Cinematic brilliance, that movie.
Yeah.
The scene with the
when who's the actor? She's Warren Beatty. Says, why would you want to live on camera? You don't want to do anything on camera. It was like the thesis of Madonna wrapped up in 2 sentences with Warren Beatty. So, all right, Deena's got one more piece.
One last piece. So when I think of my life in the 90s, I think of 4 important adults in my life, which would be my mom, my dad, Roger Ebert, and Judy Blume. So to cap it all up, we'll cap it off with a little bit of Judy Blume. In the 5th or 6th grade, I remember being in science class. One of the other kids said something, and a hilarious response popped in my head. I wanted to say it. I should say it. I thought it will be greeted with silence, I thought. And as I thought and thought, a boy in the class said his own version of my joke, and people roared. I lost the laugh. This boy with less finesse and worse timing got my fucking laugh. This moment changed me. It wasn't an aha moment, because aha Oprah didn't exist yet. No, I clearly remember thinking, this is my Judy Blume moment. I was having my turning point in Judy Blume's never-published book, Deena Gets the Last Laugh. After the JB moment, I did begin using my humor, and it became my defining characteristic. It was how I made friends and gained confidence. Judy, of course, knows that life is never simple enough just have one turning point, though. Her characters suffered and learned and celebrated, and then they rinsed and repeated. My Judy Blume-esque Deena is a slow learner. Years later, she would take an improv class and think of something and whisper it to someone on the back line, and he would go out and do it, and he would go out and do it in class, and he would get the laugh. I finally learned this lesson. I will get my laugh now. But Judy isn't a one lesson per character type lady, so I continued to learn and learn and learn some more. Who knew 25 years later, Judy would write a sequel, Happy Shockiversary Deena. In this mildly anticipated follow-up, we learned Deena has continued the thread of comedy in her life and has also added a child, and for good measure, shock therapy and some pretty little pills. The book opens on February 15, 2013, a year after Deena started her ECT treatments as she reflects on what the last year has meant. Critics praise the book for handling tough subjects, but also think Deena, the main character, is a little self-absorbed. And ask, geez, Judy, is Deena ever going to grow up for real? But Judy knows neither life nor her characters are ever that clear-cut. And as it always seems, Judy is right.